And we're going. So go for it. Kick it off. Uh-oh, Mary, you're still muted. Unmute. There you go.
Thanks, babe. Hi, guys. Welcome to our call tonight. This is the Good Vibe Tribe Power Call, Soul Warriors and Team Viva Vida, and it's all about attracting your dream team. So I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for giving us a couple minutes, an hour of your time tonight to go through this. I think we're going to give you a lot of content that's going to serve you well. A quick introduction in case you've not met either one of us before. I'm Meredith Ganau. I'm a 5-star Diamond Elite from 2014. I finished the year at number 14. I'm the founder of Team Soul Warriors. And over to the right side is Jacqueline Hughes. She is also a 5-star Diamond Elite from 2014 and founder of Team Viva Vida. And so, you know, you're on a top 2 team, you're on a top 100 team. You have a very powerful fuel source of information. So I'm so excited to share this with Jacqueline and take you through tonight's team call agenda. So number 1, we're gonna build a strong foundation. We're gonna show you how to attract your team, your dream team. Number 2, we're gonna show you how to seal the deal and get people excited to join you. And number 3, we're gonna get you started, getting coaches started right. So that's really your road to success. So our goal here is to help you build confidence in this business and in yourself so you can effectively share it and begin to build your team. There are 4 ingredients to having a very successful business. And if you want, you can screen grab this. I think there's going to be a lot of cards you want to screen grab tonight, but this is more than just ingredients, you guys. This is like foundation and fundamentals. So no matter where you're at in your business, these are the 4 things you need to always come back to. So if you're hearing no's or if you've fallen off your challenge and things just aren't going your way, you have got to get back here. So number 1 ingredient and fundamental is that you have to have a strong belief in the product, in the business, and in yourself. Number 2, you have to have a strong reason why you want to build this as a business. And number 3, a strong commitment, a never give up attitude. You have to be consistent. And lastly, number 4, you need to always remain coachable. So ingredient 1, I'm going to share with you guys. We're going to break it down, and Mary will be jumping in here and there, and we're just going to kind of chop this up. But your success starts and ends with your decision, and is determined by the degree with which you're willing to work and connect with the people who you want to share your success with, who want the same success as you do. If you're not committed, you won't know how to attract the rock stars and power players. So you have to be committed to your journey first and foremost, and that starts with a belief in what it is we're doing, what we're sharing, a strong belief in the product and the company. So a good way to go through this is to actually list it out. What products have you started using? What do you use? And how does it fit into your lifestyle? For myself, it was because I found Meredith. I already knew her, but I found this fit in my lifestyle because I was a new stay-at-home mom. I had a time crunch. I was busy. I wanted to feel toned and strong. I needed energy again. I had nursed my daughter for 15 months and I was just sapped. So for me to talk to people about my belief in Shakeology and what it did for my life and for the products and programs, because it helped me get my definition back and feel good about myself again. I speak to people on a very passionate level about those things. So you need to tap into why you love Beachbody. Like, what did it do for your life? How did it fit and mold a need where you were at that time? You need to tap into that mindset. So often we think of things in terms of us being coaches, but tap into the mindset of where you were when this post that spoke to you jumped out and said, hey, this is something I might need in my life. I might need to do. Meredith talked about how the shake and the superfoods was helping her, and so that's where it fit for me. Then you carry that over and start talking about the business. What is it about the business that you like? Is it the sense of community? Is that you no longer have an alarm clock and you get to be your own boss? Is this your passion? For me and Meredith, it was healthy living. She was a holistic health practitioner. I was a nurse, and I didn't want to go back to the hospital, but I did want to continue to live my passion and purpose and help people. I knew I was meant to help people, so this fulfills that need for me while not having me sacrifice my family time. So there it is, more time with family. You can work from anywhere. Both of us are wanderlust spirits. So like getting to work and pick up and go. I'm going to be in California next week with Meredith. We're going to keep our business rolling. We were just in this last year, Jamaica and Costa Rica, and we were able to continue to work our businesses and travel and fulfill that need. And there's limitless potential with this. Doing something that I love around people I adore. I've never been surrounded by more people that believe in what I believe in and want to lift me up and not tear you down, not compete against you, but actually invest in you. So you never stop learning and being coachable and being hungry for the information that we're going to share tonight, but that carries through the duration of your business. You always want to maintain that hunger. And if there's one thing I can impress upon you, don't wait for permission. You want these things, if you want training, if you want more, go out there and seek for it. Don't wait for us to give it to you. Be 100% responsible for your success or your failure. And with that, we continue into the belief in yourself. So if you have a belief in the products and the programs, that's a great start, but everything else stems from a belief in you. Your success begins with the decision, and if you make that decision to be successful, to do what it takes and to see it through and never give up, you can do this. But I see so many people believe in the products and the shakes and the programs, but they don't believe in them. And that's where they get stalled out. They don't see themselves as a leader. They don't see the vision of what this can be in their life, and they stalemate themselves. That's where they pause. Nothing moves forward from there because they can have the best of intentions, but unless you put it into action, you never go anywhere. So your posture and how you carry yourself in person and online, your words and your attitude either help others feel more confident and build trust with you, or they plant seeds of distrust. So you're either planting seeds of doubt or you're planting seeds of trust and confidence. And how you carry yourself and your message and your vision and how you choose to share that is going to highly, highly dictate your success in this business. So invest in you first and foremost every single day. I can tell the slumps in my business happen when I'm not setting aside my time for personal development. I'm currently reading How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age. Eye-opening, because so much of what we do is online, but we forget those little subtleties in human interaction just because we're filtering things through a screen. And it's so important that you handle yourself with integrity and with the right message when you're online and communicating, because people can sense your energy. So invest in your personal and professional growth. You are your own greatest business asset. And I do want to plug one more thing. When I was a brand new coach, I treated this business like it was already $1 million business. I hadn't even earned enough to cover my initial investment. And I was looking at investing in Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy because I had the vision of what I wanted this to be. And I knew in order to grow into the person that was capable of leading the team that I wanted, I had to make sacrifices. I had to grow myself into a person that commanded the kind of commitment from others and commanded the kind of online presence. And I had no marketing skills, no any of that ability. So I said, if I'm going to be that person and grow that business, I need these things. So I invested in myself early on and continue to this day. And I highly attribute that my success, a lot of our, what we've achieved as a team, to the fact that I was willing to do that. So ingredient 2, you have to have a strong reason why you are building this business. And this plays into your vision. What do you want so badly that you're willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term success? For me, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I knew that I needed to continue to honor my key priority, which was my family, but that meant after McKenna went to bed, I stayed up late some nights. I forewent watching TV. I forewent some other fun activities because I saw the vision. I saw clearly what it was that I wanted for our family, for financial freedom, for not having to go back to the hospital, for getting us out of debt. And those reasons drove me. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're willing to sacrifice now so that you can build out that long-term success? And that reason has to be strong enough for you to talk yourself out of those moments where you want to get complacent. What will a successful business do for you in the long run, for your life, for your family, for your lifestyle? What is your long-term vision? What is it that if you stayed in the place that you're at right now, wouldn't get to do for maybe 20, 30 years, or maybe not at all? Can you see what you would want that to look like if you knew no bounds, if you knew you couldn't fail? Vision that. We stop dreaming at a certain point in our lives, and it holds us in the place of complacency. But if you allow yourself to open your mind and see the bigger picture, what would drive you to get there? And you need to channel that and put it in front of you and look at it daily. What will keep you in the game when you hit those speed bumps? That's really what we're after when we talk to you about your why. We want you to be able to see the vision, to pull people in through your messaging and for and for their personal benefit. You need to be able to connect to them. The key is to stand in their shoes and attract them by aligning with what matters to them. But first, you have to be clear on your why. And so getting very clear and seeing your vision is super important. So we just talked about why it's super important for you to have a strong why, but you have to get clear and you have to get comfortable with being vulnerable. And that's really a hard place for a lot of people, right? Like getting clear on your mission, getting clear on your vision is one thing, but then allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to share your story so that you can actually connect to people on that deeper level is one of the biggest challenges. And that's why we really stress personal development in this area, because if you're going to read something like The $1 Million Messenger or really invest in yourself in getting through your vulnerability through Brene Brown's trainings or there's tons of personal development out there that's offered, but you have to actually apply the work. You can't just read it. You've got to know it. You've got to live it. You've got to understand that you have to break down those obstacles so that you can get to the meat of your story, and then you have to do it. Do you know how hard it was to post my first story? I ran it by Mare like 3 times. I had a past eating disorder, and I wasn't like, I didn't want to share anybody. I thought people would look at me like, why would I want advice from her? But when I shared that first story, when I shared that first time about like all the different feelings and emotions, the deeper I delve into my past story and struggles, the more powerful I make commitments and connections with people that understand me, that get where I'm coming from, and that want my help in moving forward. Because wherever you are, you've already learned something that somebody else is still trying to figure out. And if you can help them shortcut or support them through that process, that's where you're coaching. That's where you're adding value to their life. So you can spout facts till you're blue in the face about Beachbody programs and statistics and superfoods. But when you strip all that away and you get to the core, what differentiates them working with you versus any other Beachbody coach that they have their choice of is your ability to connect with them. Your ability to say, hey, I get where you're at and I've moved beyond that point, or I'm moving beyond that point, and I want you with me, or I want to help you get to where I'm at. And when you say that to someone, when you make that connection, then they realize that you're building trust, those strands of trust, that connective tissue that links them to you. And it may not be that they're ready at that moment, but you've planted that seed and there's room to grow a relationship there. So as we move in to this was what I thought my story was. And honestly, like I had Meredith on this pedestal when I first started. Even though we had been like peers and worked at the yoga studio together, she had taught me my Ayurveda training when I was in yoga teacher training. And so I was looking at her, she's like, oh, she's this holistic health guru. Of course she's able to market superfoods. Of course, like I was like, this is going to be easy for her. But what do I have? Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a nurse. But like, I don't have a nutrition background. I have no social media presence. Meredith had this blog. I was comparing, which right there, you have to stop yourself. The minute you start comparing your story to someone else, you're devaluing who you are and what you're capable of. So you have value. And if you don't feel you do, then you need to point right in the direction of personal development. But what I thought my story was I had no social media presence. I had no friends. I didn't know how to do a blog. I didn't know. There was lack all over the place. All I saw was lack and what I didn't have. No financial success story. All these other top coaches were buying cars, going on trips. I was just a stay-at-home mom with no huge visible transformation except for the baby weight that I had lost before I'd even become a coach. I was a mill spouse, and I had no real fitness or nutrition expertise. In equivalent, I felt like I had no story. I was just living and operating in this world of lack, which if you're doing personal development, you understand that what you put out, you get back. So in perpetuating that I didn't have a story, I was having a hard time coming up with a story. But I stopped. I stayed consistent with my personal development. And what I came to realize was by plugging in to personal development was that I needed to be okay sharing that I overcame an eating disorder. That yes, I was a new mom, a stay-at-home mom, but so were a lot of other people. And a lot of other people were new military spouses. And that was something that I could relate to them about. I was an RN that missed being at the hospital, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice going back and working holidays and weekends with a husband that was getting ready to deploy and a new baby at home. I craved the freedom and travel of like my 20s and my independence, but I had a responsibility to my family, and I didn't want to put that place on hold in my life, but I wasn't sure how it was going to still fit. So that was something I could relate to other people about. Passion for health, yoga, and empowering others. We were in debt as a new family, and I knew we wanted to work on that and get out of it, so I could talk to people about that and relate to their struggles. And I wanted to contribute. I loved, and don't get me wrong, I think being a stay-at-home mom is one of the most rewarding, challenging, awe-inspiring, everything lumped into one, draining jobs you can have. But I still felt like I wanted to contribute to our family's financial future. And I wanted to be able to provide for more, for McKenna, for my husband, for us as a family. And so there was that desire in me to connect with people still, to want to give back. So I knew I was meant for something great and to make a difference. So that was what I realized when I came out of that world of lack, that I really did. I had a story, and so do you. So how do you find it? How do you craft this story? You need to share your background. You need to start, when I did my sneak peek, and maybe Meredith does a similar exercise, in our sneak peek, we go over the 5 things that set you apart from other individuals that maybe you're undermining, that you have some level of expertise in, that maybe it's as simple as what people commonly ask for your opinion about. Like where did you come from? Share a part of your background. And it may be a piece that you're not quite ready to share yet. You need to do some personal development around to be able to be open and honest with yourself and with others. But share that. Share your stories. And we're going to talk about breadcrumbing them, so you're not letting everybody have it all at once, but you have to let people have the opportunity to get to know you, to share your background. What you didn't and don't like about your background. Maybe it's something that, again, you have to do some personal development around. I wasn't thrilled about sharing that I had past eating disorder. That was not something I was proud of. However, it is something that I went through. It is something that has given me some perspective and some opportunities to help others that are where I was and relate to them and help them move through that phase of their life. 3, how Beachbody helped and is helping me or you to overcome and may have even rescued you from a circumstance. I was tired, guys. Like, I was drained. I was eating clean. I was teaching yoga. I was at home with the baby. I just didn't feel like me. And I know a lot of other moms can relate to that feeling. They don't feel like themselves anymore. They feel like they've lost a little piece and they don't quite know how to regain it. Beachbody and this community and plugging into this family helped get me back to the tenacious, goal-oriented person that I was. That's huge for people, to give them an opportunity to reshape their lives, to provide for their financial future. And that's just me. Tap into what this is doing for you. Is it a physical transformation? Is it an emotional one? Is it a sense of community? Is it financial future? Is it what you know it can be but haven't quite attained yet? Your results are how you feel about the future. Share all these things. Start to outline them. These are just bullet points for you to go back and start working through. This is not, I know I'm going through them quickly. I'll make the slides available to all of you, but I mean, go through these steps and answer these questions, and you're going to start to find that you have a lot of things to post about. And remember that vulnerability creates connection. The more you strip away those layers, the deeper you go, the more open you are. And I think Meredith's post the other day, if you guys didn't catch it, where she was very raw about her emotions. She had a rough day. She's human and she's allowed to. And she shared that instead of just sulking away or not putting a post up for the day, which a lot of people would just be like, I'm not going to do it. She acknowledged that there's a need for people to relate to her on a very real, tangible level. And that's what she did. She stripped away her layers and she said, here I am. But you know what? She paired that with something very inspirational at the end. She says, I'm ready to lift myself up. And it's only through the ability that she is the person that she is, and she's done personal development, and she's going in the direction she goes, that she was able to wrap it all up at the end with something like, I'm moving forward and tomorrow's a new day. So that's super, super important. So learn to tell your story. Learn to say what it is that's the most pertinent points of your story. You don't want to vomit your story over everybody the minute you get the opportunities to. So this is what I boiled mine down to. I was a worn out stay-at-home mom and a new meal spouse who was feeling a bit isolated and lost. I missed being a nurse, but wasn't willing to go back to night shifts and work all the holidays and weekends and miss out on my daughter's childhood. I joined my coach for a fitness and health challenge and found my passion again for helping others. And I learned that I could stay at home, earn an income by sharing my results and helping others. And now I'm a full-time coach. I'm making more than I did as a full-time nurse. We're debt-free as a family. I get to travel. We all get to travel together. We sleep in. I spend every day with our daughter, and I do something with passion and purpose that I love every day. That is my story. You need to know yours. You need to not only know it, but you need to own it. You need to live it. You need to show people that that's what you're about. And I could break this little synopsis into several different posts and share it over time. But again, vulnerability creates connection. I'm going to let Mare talk a little bit about breadcrumbing in just a second when she goes over some posts. But there's ways to give you little bits and pieces of my story or your story along the way so that you're not overwhelming people and you always leave them wanting to learn more about you, wanting to know and connect deeper. A great way to do this. So now that when you do that exercise and you learn what it is about your story, what you can own, what you're willing to share, how you can be vulnerable, then it's time to start attracting people that are like-minded, not just attracting a team. And I think that's where a lot of new coaches start to go off wrong. They just want anybody. And their mentality of just getting anybody, people can sense when you're hungry and you just want to fill your team. But when you want to fill your team with people that resonate with you, it's not only going to make this process so much more fun for you and enjoyable, but you're going to help pull the ambition and the success out of them too, because you're going to speak their language. They're going to understand where you're coming from. You're going to understand where they're coming from, and success will happen in folds. So develop your brand. And this is how this exercise might look a little hokey. It's a lot like scrapbooking. Essentially, you just want to envision your dream person that you like working with. For me, I knew I went through and I listed age, married or single, kids, hobbies. These are questions to ask yourself. Likes, interests, personality types. Are they shy? Are they outgoing? Are they motivated? Are they an extrovert, an introvert? Be as specific as possible. This exercise not only helps you to know who you're talking to, but it also helps you when you want to go place ads. And we're going to get into reaching your audience. And knowing this will make that process way more easier. So who do you enjoy working with? Do you have a friend that's already on your team, or that maybe you work with in a different area of life that you want, that just brings out the best in you, that you enjoy the way that they handle things? I can tell you, for me personally, when I first started my coaching and I thought of my dream team, one of the first people that popped into my mind was Erica, who is now one of my diamond coaches. She was one of my first coaches, and I was like, she is happy and organized and goal-oriented, and she's a hard worker, and she's loyal, and she's my touchstone when I need she's clear-headed, and it just all these wonderful things about her. And I honestly thought a lot about all the people that I really love having on our team, that I pulled all these attributes from and just created one key avatar. You call them your avatar. And in creating them, you can print this and look at this every single day and be like, I don't know what to post. Well, this is who I'm trying to help. So what would they want to know? Because if you want to genuinely connect with someone and truly help your people and coaches be laser focused on the person that you completely relate to and love helping, this will take you from working with a variety of people to attracting people that are just like you. And it makes this business and life so much easier and gives you clear purpose because you know who you're trying to help. So here's mine. Her name's Brooke. She's 32. This is imaginary, of course. Just to be clear, she's not real. This is just a random internet picture, but she's 32. She's married. She has kids or want kids. Maybe she's going to be trying for kids. She's outgoing and motivated. She can be impulsive. She can make impulse buys. She likes being fit. She's interested in yoga and health, but hasn't really dove into it. She loves shopping online and Amazon. She's worried that she won't stick with things once she starts them. She's a chronic yo-yo dieter and crash dieter. She wants to make a difference and be part of something. She's tried every other shortcut out there. She has a big heart. She's very loyal and hardworking. She's struggled with her body image in the past and possibly some depression, anxiety, or even an eating disorder. She loves Pinterest, and maybe she's a Pinterest-addicted mama just like me. She knows a little about nutrition but wants to know more. She feels like something's missing in her life, feels that she likes the finer things. She loves to splurge on herself but also loves a good deal. She'll search for it. Loves travel, beaches, great food, great wine, outdoors. fun yoga leggings, happy and fun loving, and lives in comfy clothes but likes to get dolled up on occasion. Can you see how like I got really specific? And like when I'm going to talk to somebody, yes, my posts about yoga leggings and McKenna might not appeal to everybody, but they're going to appeal to her. She's going to dig my crazy yoga pants. She's going to dig the fact that I incorporate Mac into my workouts. She's going to dig the fact that I'm showing her how to work out at home and learn more on her own timetable. I'm giving her opportunities to impulsively jump into opportunities with us. I speak to her, and no, I'm not going to be able to help everybody, and nor do you want to, because are you really going to be able to effectively coach and enjoy coaching a 50-year-old man that is trying to put on muscle when you're a 20-year-old, 30-year-old woman that's trying to look good in a bikini? Not so much. You're going to not be able to relate to them on all the levels that they need and that you need. So by having your avatar do this exercise, guys, I can't impose that upon you enough. I saw this exercise that Katie Hefner did like a year ago, and it took me forever to sit down and do it, but it has made my messaging and being clear about my purpose so much easier. All right, so what kind of person are you searching for? This is my list of 10. Come up with your own list of 10. Put their characteristics. This is not just for your person that you're trying to reach as a challenger. This is now for your team. This is for your coach. I want somebody that's confident, that's funny, creative, focused, driven, motivated. That's a go-getter. They're assertive, humble, ambitious. They have entrepreneurial spirit. They're hardworking, fun-loving. They're a doer. They want to take action. And they have that magnetic personality. You just love being around them. Then you have to ask yourself the tough question, guys. By your own admission, when you look at your list of the 10 things you really want your ideal coach to be, to have, do you have those qualities? Do you possess all those things? Because people are not going to follow someone that isn't either someone that they either aspire to or respect or feel that they can learn from. So if you, and it's not to say that if you look at your list and you're like, gosh, no, that's your indicator to say, okay, I need to work on these areas. I need to work on my leadership skills. Maybe I need to be more organized or a better communicator and hone in on those abilities. If those are the kind of people I want to attract. On that note, I just realized in saying that, I don't know how Meredith got me because I'm the organized one and she's just kidding. I'm joking with you, Meredith, completely. But it's all about personal development. Like you have to enter into these relationships with confidence. And you have to know and have a strong sense of self. You can also relate to people by wanting to build a team and grow with them. If you want to say, hey, these are what I'm working on. This is my vision. And like I did with Erica, like Mara did with me, I want to grow with you. I want to learn this opportunity with you. All right. So now we know who we're looking for. How do you find them there? Where do we go to find our amazing people?
Well, thanks, Jacqueline, for throwing me under the bus there.
I'm just joking. You know I love you.
But it's so true, right? Like we're going through that and I'm looking around my desk and my desk is messing and I'm thinking, gosh, the person I want is really organized. And I'm just so thankful for Jacqueline. But you guys need to expose yourself and really think about what your avatar is and where they're looking. Where are they? Where do they shop? Do they search online engines? Are they on blogs? Do they cruise Facebook and Instagram? And if they do, what time are they laying in bed at 6:30 a.m. getting their scroll in there? Are they, taking a scroll at lunch break? Do they have downtime at 3 p.m. or at 7 p.m.? Are they pinners? Do they love Pinterest? Social media is going to be an incredible platform for you to be able to find people, to build your network, where you can start to attract people that you're interested in attracting. So think of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Periscope, and so many more. There's so many more formats now. There's Snapchat and so much. YouTube is another great format because video is just such a great way to connect. I know that I never thought that I would be doing YouTube, but I had to think about where is my avatar? And I thought about me before I was a Beachbody coach and when I was really into raw foods. And how did I learn about it? For the most part, I got on YouTube and I started following people that were raw foodies. And I would look at what they were doing. And some people I was like, these videos are bunk. And it would still be 2 minutes in and I'd still be watching, and then I would watch their next one. And it didn't matter that the video quality wasn't incredible. What mattered was that they had information that I wanted. They had a solution for my challenge. So blogs are another great format. Look at your current customers. I think we put that past us a lot. Like, once you have customers, these could potentially be your lifers. These could be people that are your next coaches. They are people that know a lot of people. So, why not incentivize them to get back on a challenge if they've already done a challenge? Get back in and invite your friends, and let's make this a family-oriented group for the next 30 days. Build your contact list. Look at your contact list and add 100 new people every single month. Everyday life. I mean, if you're sitting behind your computer and behind your smartphone all day long thinking you're going to build your business from behind your desktop, get out from under your rock and get out of the house. Go to parties and events and cookouts and barbecues, and get to your kids' activities. Go to the park, go to the gym, go to yoga. Look at where your people are. Like, I love going to yoga, and a lot of my people are at yoga because we speak the same language, just like Jacqueline was saying earlier. And of course, work. Work is one of the easiest places to find people. So 3 types of posts to attract coaches, and this really is getting into social media marketing. And let me say that marketing is one thing, but placing invites is a different thing. So when you're doing your social media marketing, there can be direct action, calls to action that you put on your posts that will say, like, drop your email, or sign up for my link here, or XYZ, reach out to me if you want to coach, or if you want to be in the sneak peek, etc. However, a lot of people are reading that and they're just saying, like, oh, that's really cool, and they're seeing it, but they don't realize that you're speaking to them until you make that personal invitation. So it's still really important to reach out to people, whether that's, calling them on the phone or sending the private message. But essentially, there are 3 types of posts that you're going to be putting out to attract people. You're going to put out lifestyle posts, and that's you and what you're doing every single day. You're putting out posts that are about your challenge groups and what you offer, and also about your coach mentorship. So to break that down a little bit more, like, I think of my social media rotation as being fitness, food, lifestyle, career. And in doing that, that lifestyle part is touched on. It's where I'm at, what I'm doing. Usually it's something health related or with my family. The challenge group part is touched on because I'm sharing about the food and the fitness that I'm doing. And I'm also putting out blatant posts that say, hey, we've got a group coming up, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get meal plans. You're going to get exact fitness. You're going to get Shakeology. And then I also put out coach mentoring posts. And sometimes those are a part of my challenge group posts. Sometimes they're independent career posts talking about getting on a webinar tonight. I have one up today. I have one earlier today that was saying, do you love health and fitness? Have you ever thought of opening up your own fitness business? So make sure that your social media changes from being the social media family friendly, everything you did in your day, to a very pointed, intentionful place of marketing. And that doesn't mean that it has to be gross and that you're slapping up Beachbody, stickers and all that. Like, decorate it in your life, but have it flow through your fitness, your food, your lifestyle, and your career in a very soft flow. So you're just rotating by those 4 things over and over and over. So if you posted your career one, 3 down, you're going to post it again. If you posted your lifestyle, 3 down, get some food and fitness in there, and then post it again. Okay, so here's some examples of posts to attract. And this is what Jacqueline was talking about a little bit earlier with breadcrumbing as well. Like, we all have very, very vast stories, right? You might not have even noticed or knew that Jacqueline looked like this in her past, right? It's a huge transformation. But she doesn't start by saying, hey, these are my 21-day results. Like, clearly they're not. But she starts with a story. It's my birthday month. I'm 2 weeks from being 33. I find myself reflecting. And then she starts to get into her story. 15 years difference. I've had a baby. I'm overcoming an eating disorder. I've learned how to fuel my body and take care of myself the right way. So basically what she's doing here is sort of like this feel, felt, found that we'll talk about a little bit later, but she's showing you that she's been there. She's relatable. The image is scroll stopping. It makes you want to learn more. She looks so vibrant and happy and healthy, and she's giving you a solution to her challenge. Same thing here with my post. It's a scroll stopping post. I mean, I was very different looking before, and I specifically say, hey, I just want to share this. I went from a party girl who was out of shape and turned into a broke yoga teacher, and now I'm doing this, and I'm making my living on social media by helping people. And so I'm not telling them exactly what I'm doing, but I'm attracting anybody that wants that, and they're going to read more. And same here. Like if you're looking at that demographic, the avatar that was Brooke, that was Jacqueline's avatar, this is something that would appeal to her. Like she likes to travel. She yo-yo diets, and she can see a lot of bodies in here. And the first thing it says is there's no cookie cutter coach. No one size fits all when it comes to your health journey. So the last one I think we're showing here is Jacqueline, who just got her brand new washer and dryer. I mean, that's totally exciting, right? But I love how she starts this by saying, I promised Mike I would put a disclaimer up on this pic. This is not my birthday present, even though coincidentally it was delivered on my birthday. And you read through it, and at the end, and this is what happened on every single one of those last 3 posts as well. At the very end, it ties it back to how coaching is related to this. So, she says this isn't to brag, but paying cash for this week-long vacation she was talking about and for getting a washer and dryer is something that happened because she decided to make a bold change in her life, get out of her own way, and become a coach. And then there's also posts like this. This is our last one, that they're more about income generation. And so you might say, okay, this sounds really great to do a post like that, and this really intrigues me too, but I can't do that because I've only made $35. Well, guess what? So did I. But I have to tell you, this really goes back to what Jacqueline said in the beginning is she, from the get-go, treated her business like $1 million business, and she invested in marketing and impact training and all these things before she got there. Well, I set a goal when I started this business. I set a goal to be able to make one of these cards. I set a goal to get on the national wake-up call. Like, I set goals that might seem funny. Like, really? Your why was to make a card that was, like, powerful? It's like, yeah, because I want to be that girl that earns 6 figures from running a coaching career. And so one thing I do want to say here is when you're showing this, it's really important. If you guys haven't read Policies and Procedures yet in your Coach Online office, please do. There are many things you need to know about in Policies and Procedures, and one is our income disclaimer, and it needs to go on everything, and it's printed really small on here, but if you actually go onto this post, you would see at the very end of it, it says something specific that's copied from Policies and Procedures saying that Beachbody does not, confirm that anyone will make a certain amount of money. It's all based on the work you do, and everybody's individualistic, and that's the bottom line. If you have the never give up attitude, you will succeed.
On that note, too, where Meredith said, you may be looking at this saying, okay, I'm not there yet. And when I was a brand new coach, Amy was in the top 10, and she was Meredith and my go-to, and she was making these amazing earning posts and trips, and Lindsay Matway was buying cars, and I was like, okay, that's not attainable. But here's the thing, if you're trying to relate to your dream team, you need to give them things that are attainable and that they can wrap their minds around too. So sharing, even if you are just an Emerald coach or working your way to Emerald, you have stuff of value to teach. So don't shy away from learning with them and giving them the opportunity of sharing your vision. So you share your vision of what you see as possible. My coach shared this with me, and it made me realize that I had stopped dreaming and thinking outside the box of what I'm capable of. Here's what I'm building. Here's what I'm working toward. I'm looking for people that want to join me. I'm looking for people that want to stop holding themselves back or that haven't lost their ability to dream. Talk to the people that see your vision and that want to jump on with you, because there are people that will. And Meredith and I did that. That's how we grew our teams, exactly that way, before we had any success to share. All right, so let's say you found them. You've got your key avatar. They might be interested. Now what do? Don't have the I gotcha mentality or that you're roping them in. You need to slow down. You need to connect, and you need to acknowledge them. This is the beginning. This is not where it ends. This is where it starts. This is where somebody has started to see that they have a connection with you, and it's up to you to foster that genuine relationship building in that phase. So, so important. And this is where I feel like a lot of people miss out. They go right for, all right, let's get you started, or this or that. But you have to get to know their personality style. Some people will be all about that. I was very impulse driven, and I was like, yeah, sign me up, Meredith. Let's do this. Other people are going to need to know more about you, especially if you're reaching out to somebody that doesn't know you as well. You don't want to just go for making it happen. You want to be assertive, but you want to be interested in them to know how this, and help them figure out how this is going to fit into their life. To do that, you have to form them. And if you're not familiar about forming, that's a different call, but that's part of the vital behaviors and learning how to communicate with the people and learning about them and their lives. But you want to think about how you want people to feel after they get done talking to you. Do you feel like you listened? Were you a good listener? Did you build trust? Are you starting to earn their trust? Are you building a connection and a relationship? Because your coaches, the people on your team, which is what this call is about, you are going to have relationships with. You are going to be working with them, traveling with them, helping them grow, building their teams. So you need to learn how to cup. Cup is a good analogy for that. Connect, uplift, and praise. And in order to do that, you need to know what kind of person are they. Do they need to hear your voice? Do you need to, instead of send an email, pick up the phone and call them, or send a voice memo? Or are they a written word kind of person, an email? How best to connect with them? And this is how you start listening and learning. They will tell you. You need to know how they are motivated and uplifted. Give them a compliment. Compliment them taking the initiative to contact you in the first place. Take the initiative to look at their page and know something positive about that you can comment in your conversations with them. And praise their efforts when they do follow through, or when they are, the strides that they are making. Praise those efforts. People don't get recognized in their everyday life on a regular basis. So when you take the time to uplift someone else, to praise their efforts, that's great for them. That speaks to their soul on a very core value level. And you just taking that little bit of time can cost you a little bit of time, but it can mean the world to them. So we're going to talk about looking into their signs. So their strengths, this goes right hand in hand with the cup method. Look at their strengths as you're talking to them. This is as you start to have a conversation. So now you've either got them on the phone or you're emailing them with the scripts. The goal of the scripts, guys, is to assess their strengths, learn about their interests, learn about their goals and their needs. So your scripting, if you're doing an email format, or your template when you're talking to someone on the phone, should touch on these areas. When you walk out of that call, you want to ask questions to where you have answers to each one of these areas. What is this person's strengths? What are their interests? You need to be more interested in them than you are interesting. So listen to their goals and needs. You do want to listen. You have to become a good listener. And that's really hard for people like Meredith and I, because we are talkers. We have overactive throat chakras, and we just like to give information. But stopping yourself is a very powerful tool in listening. People will tell you what their needs are if you're listening. Become a problem solver. People get so scared, and we're going to talk a little bit about objections, but they get scared to hear people's objections. I want you to change your mindset around them. Think of them as opportunities. That person is telling you they're great. Objections are great because they're telling you exactly what they need to learn, where they're struggling, what they need to learn, and that's your opportunity to be a problem solver. So don't shy away from the objections. Get into the mindset about, I'm going to help you solve this problem, but you have to learn what those problems are first. Build trust, and again, that goes hand in hand with influence and listening and being that person that uplifts them and becomes being consistent in that role. Because if you're going to bail and not be there in the future, or you're not going to show up for your own day-to-day life and be that example, they're not going to have that trust built in you that you're going to be there for them. Be sure that you get in the habit of repeating their goals back to them. So if you're having a phone conversation, or even if in an email, repeat back to them. So you said that you really wanted to work on this, this, and this in your fitness journey, or that you really have this goal of wanting to take your family on a trip that you pay for. And then share with them. I feel like because you've even said that you're a great, you're a hard worker and you're very consistent. Those are two key components to making a great coach. I really feel like this is going to be a good fit for you, because then you've used what they've given you. They've told you what their strengths are. They've given you what they're interested in, what their goals are. And you've reiterated them now to them in a way that this is fitting into their lifestyle. You're showing them how coaching is going to fulfill that need, how the team is going to fulfill that need, how they themselves are going to learn to grow into the person able and capable of fulfilling their needs too, and their family's needs. Don't sit there and try to guess what they want. It wastes time, it wastes energy and money. You just need to ask them, what do you want from this opportunity? What made you reach out to me today? If somebody likes your post, one of the best things, one of my coaches the other day, Tess, she said she's been going to, when she makes a coaching post on her like page, she goes to the people that liked her post, because a lot of people won't comment, they won't drop their email, but she goes to the people that merely like her post and she sends them a little message, say, thank you so much for liking my post the other day. It meant a lot to me. So she's thanking them, showing them gratitude. What is it that interested you and brought you to my page? What is it that you find interesting and helpful or whatever? She's learning more about the people and starting to build a relationship with the people that are frequenting her page that she hasn't already engaged with on a personal level, which is really intuitive to know like what her people need. And don't lead with what you want. We are so pre-programmed as human beings to put our needs and to want to be interesting and draw people to us. Put yourselves in their shoes. What do they want? Answer the questions that they have and find out what their needs are from where they stand at that point. Don't lose sight of your beginner, where you started your journey, not where you are now, and help them assess where they want to go, where they want to take this. All right, so these are your 8 steps to sign up. So this is a process, right? So we've gone through having your vision, having your why, your belief in yourself, the products, then moving into having a firm grasp on your why and your story and who you are, then who you want to attract, then where to find them, how to attract them, how to start forming a relationship with them. And now we're to the point that they're like, let's do this. We're going to do this. But you have to extend that offer. You have to get down to it. And don't be afraid. I'll have so many people get lost in this phase right here, guys. And it's because I don't take the bold, or I didn't in the past. I've started to more just assertively ask them, what is it that's holding you back? What are you afraid of? If they've expressed interest, what is it that you still have objections or questions around? Don't be afraid to hear no. For a lot of people, that means not right now. Like, this just doesn't fit into my life right now. But I can't tell you how many of my coaches had that response to me initially and then either came back on their own, or when I followed up down the road, decided that it was a better time and a better fit. And what I had done in that interim was stayed consistent and kept showing them that I was going to be there day after day and what it was doing for my life. And they finally decided they were ready. So let's go through the steps. You share the business, share the specifics, like what the format is, compliment them and their ability to reach out and like why, and that they took that step, that they had that vision. Ask them questions to get to know them. So this is the forming that we were talking about, either in a script, or you can use something like Woofu or Google Docs to come up with a pre-scripted, like, what are your interests, and have them fill that out in advance before you get on the phone with them. So do you already have a template and you know what they're interested in? Again, use, when you're asking those questions, that sign, the strengths, and all of those, the cup method. Ask questions that are pertinent to each one of those areas so that you're getting a firm grasp on their interests and their goals and their strengths and what's going to motivate them. Send a video. If it's mid-month and you haven't done a coaching sneak peek, or you don't have a coaching sneak peek, do a short video and just talk about the coaching opportunity on your own. Upload it to YouTube, save the link, use it in your emails. If somebody asks you, be prepared, be proactive. This is where that proactivity comes into play. If somebody asks you, I want to know about the coaching opportunity, and you just wrapped up your sneak peek, have a resource available to be like, hey, here's a short little video I shot. It's 5 minutes, and I've got a sneak peek group that I'd love you to be a part of, but this kind of tells you what it is that coaching is, and give a little synopsis and an overview. Breadcrumb coaching and see if they want to learn more. And if they do, then you can put them in a sneak peek group, or you can get on the phone and have a conversation with them. But be ready with information about what is coaching and what is it to you. ask for the follow-up. If you do send them a video, if you do send them an email, if you do have a phone call and they say, I need to think about it, be specific. Say, when can I follow up with you? When do you think you'll have time to watch that video? Can I call you on Monday? Should I follow up with you on Monday? You're not pressuring them. You are asking them for some hard and fast guidelines so that you know when to best serve them. You're coaching. Even if you're signing them up as a coach, you're signing up to be their mentor. Mentor them. Guide them. Have some kind of structure to your communication so that they know your expectations and you don't leave anything looming in the air. Get on the phone and connect. I already expressed that some people have communication styles where they prefer email. Some prefer texts. Some just need to hear your voice. They need to get on the phone with you, or they need to see your face in a video. Make sure you're making that connection. Address their fears and objections. Like I said, don't shy away from those objections. Ask them for them. What's holding you back? Go straight for it. Say, what's holding you back? What confuses you about anything that I've shared? After a sneak peek, I reach out to my people. If I don't hear from them within a few days, I call them and I say, hey, I understand that maybe right now is not the best time, or that you might have gotten busy, but I just want to follow up so that I'm better able to help the next person the next time. What is it that confused you, or what is it that you weren't ready to commit to about the coaching opportunity, or still had questions about? More often than not, people are like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot, or I got busy, or it was this element and I'm not sure I can do that. And it gives me an opportunity to address their objection, to meet that fear, to meet that hesitation head on. And more than likely, and most often, they just move past it. I'm able to give them the answer that they needed to hear to move forward and get out of their own way. Because it's mainly fear or some area that they're not quite have a grasp on yet that you can easily help them navigate around. But you have to just go for it. You have to say, what is it that you're fearing in this situation? And then get a sign-up process. No, I'm going to sign them up. This is what I need to do. I've got checklists in my team group. I believe Meredith does as well, that you can easily follow. We have tons of resources available to you. But this is where it really begins. So objections, Mary's going to touch on more of these.
So this is the best way to handle objections. Be relatable. So it's feel, felt, sound. Feel, felt, found. I've mentioned this before, just even when you're breadcrumbing and doing your posts. So, the statement is, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I have found is blank. So whether you're putting it in your, social media post, or whether this is a direct objection to something someone is saying, you've got to face head on what their challenge is. We need to be solution-oriented coaches. So what is the challenge? What is the hump that they're not getting over? What is it that they're not understanding? And relate to it and say, you know what? At first, I was skeptical too because I didn't understand it. I felt the same way. But what I have found is that I actually took the program, lost the weight, whatever. Then you tell the story. But help them make sense of it, whatever their objection may be. So tips for success. These are important, you guys. You can screenshot this if you want. View sharing Beachbody as an amazing opportunity and the gift that it is. And I think this is one place I see a lot of coaches get stuck, because all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm going to get a paycheck if somebody buys a program. Well, guess what? If somebody buys that program from Beachbody instead of from you, the program costs exactly the same. So somebody gets a commission. It's just not you. Wouldn't it be better if, because you are taking and investing time in somebody and giving them tools for transformation, that you are rewarded for it? There is absolutely nothing wrong with making money for doing something you're passionate about. We all make money for working. That should not be shamed. So view it as an amazing opportunity and a gift, emotionally detached from any outcome. Put out, your job is to give, to invite a lot of people, to offer people an opportunity to change their life, to get physically in the best health, to feel better than they've ever felt, to have an opportunity to gain financial freedom and create a career that they love, where they can stay at home with their family or travel the world. Your job is to help as many people as you can. It's not to get committed or detached to one person and then, everything goes to hell in a handbasket because they said no or they quit. Focus on helping them and making a positive impact. This is a duplicatable business. We give you all the tools to set your coaches up right for success. So help them get set up right. Make sure you're making that coach connection call and finding out, what do they want out of this and how can you be the best support system for them? call them. It's much easier to establish a connection over the phone. So once you've gone through the scripts or once they've signed up as a coach, make sure you have that connection one-on-one. Assume the sign up. So if it's you're talking to them before they've signed up, go in with confidence. Why would there be a shadow of a doubt in anybody's mind to do this? To me, it doesn't make sense why anybody wouldn't take this opportunity, and remind them it's not just that you get me, you get our team, you get community, you get so much support, you get leadership calls every week. Ask them what's holding them back. Be a great listener. Be interested more than you're interesting. Remember, it's about their why. So help them uncover what that is and what this will make a difference for in their life, whether it's, getting on a challenge, and why is it so important that you need to have more hours in your day by quitting your gym membership? Why is it or save more money because of that? How is it going to make a difference in your life? Come to a place of confidence and share the opportunity and what it's done to change your life and make you more healthy. And just trust that it does get better with practice. I can guarantee you that both me and Jacqueline, when we started, we just leaned on each other and we're like, okay, that went horrible for me. How'd that go for you? And we would laugh it off and we would just get back in there and do it again. And we use the scripts and keep trying. And eventually you find your rhythm, just like anything. First few faxes I ever made in my life, I ruined all those contracts, didn't get the fax machine to work. But you know what? I kept hitting that fax button when I was a receptionist. And eventually I got pretty darn good at doing faxes.
So really, guys, your job doesn't end when they say yes. You've gotten to the point where they've joined your team, and it's just the beginning. Your income and your influence will only grow based on what you do after this point. And duplication is where that magic happens. That's why it's key to attract the people that have the same fire you do. You want to enjoy working with them. You want to speak their language so that you can help breathe life into their dreams. And you want to attract those who want to put in the time and effort. With that being said, you cannot control who will work this business. You can't. You can help them get started right. We have tons of tools, both Meredith and I do. But you aren't responsible for their success or their failure. You are responsible for getting them off to a great start. People will say that they want it, and they may build to diamond, and they may fall out even at that point and fall off the face of the earth, but you can't control their fate. To get started, you have to be able to your goal in helping them get started is to remove the training wheels as soon as possible so that they can be independent and build their own dream team. So help them develop their why. If you have a brand new coach, and those of you that are just starting out, you're at the ideal time to learn and feel out this process because you can communicate with your coaches. Help them develop their why, craft their story, become a master of their own training. And you guys can do this together. This is a great birthplace for success partners to be born. Learn to craft your story, connect to the team together, be success partners. Build belief in the products, team, and company and themselves. Co-lead challenges together with your new coaches so that they start to see your passion. They learn from your technique. A few points. Great leaders are great coaches, students. So don't stop learning. You want to be a sponge. You want to watch successful people other than other Beachbody coaches. Watch them, what they do, how they grow. Find mentors. Listen to podcasts. Implement what you learn. All this personal development and all these trainings that we do for you and offer you will be of no good unless you apply what you're learning. So have personal accountability. You no longer will have a boss in this process, guys. Once you step up as a team leader, once you say, I am a coach, and you own that, you are the boss of your own organization. Own it and be the boss. Implement what you're learning. Decide what you have as a vision, like my $1 million business when I hadn't even earned enough to cover my Shakeology. Decide that you're going to step into that role and be disciplined and not be detoured by life or daily distractions. Are you kidding me? Within the first 4 months of becoming a coach, I had a PCS move. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I had tons of distractions. I could have gotten up and walked away so many times. You know what I did? Mid-PCS move? I went on a cruise with Meredith. I went on a cruise and my fire was lit. I knew that to go to these things, I had faith. I didn't know. I had faith and I believed because I had heard that these opportunities to connect with other coaches was going to spur my fire more than anything else. And I needed that. Meredith needed that. We saw so much in connecting with the other coaches and the opportunities that were available to us. So don't let life get in the way. If you want this, let nothing get in your way. Be sure that you are willing to make those short-term sacrifices for the long-term gains and rewards. Make time for your greatest asset in this process, guys. Your greatest asset is you. You are your greatest asset. And if you're not putting forth your personal development every single day, and if you're not doing your own Beachbody programs and working out with the products, you are going to fall short of your goals in every level of this business. I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, just commit to being your own best asset and fueling your tank every day, and you will not fail. I guarantee it. All right, so this is a philosophy from Tony Robbins, and we're rounding out our slides now, so thanks for hanging with us. We'll go just over a bit, but I hope that you're getting a lot out of this call. The cycle of success. Believe you can and you will. It all boils down to belief, guys. If you have small or no belief, this is a cyclical action. If you have small or no belief, you have no potential, and therefore you will take little action, and you will yield no results, which perpetuates no belief in yourself. So it's cyclical, right? If you do all these things. However, let your why and your dedication to personal development fuel your belief and inspire your action, which then builds your potential, gets you results, and inspires even more belief in yourself. So follow this around, guys, because if you don't take that action, and if you don't start with the belief and believe that you have the potential, and then follow that up with action, and then get the results, you are not going to go anywhere in this cycle, and it's just going to keep perpetuating over and over again. So start with that belief, work on you, and commit to the process. So after this call, we've given you a lot of action items. I know, but hopefully you can reiterate through these slides. You've taken some screenshots. You will go back through and work through all the steps, because that's what a leader and a team builder does. They work through the steps and they start implementing right away. Create your list, your dream list, just like your dream board. Who are your 10 people in your life that you would love to have on your dream team? That if they said yes to you, you would just be like, yes, this is going places. We are going to build together. We're going to bring out the best in one another. Write their names down on a tangible list, because you want to look at them, you want to see them, and then you want to go and start forming a relationship with them, and not just those 10, because it may take them a year, it may take them a day, it may take them 5 years. They're just your dream team. They're starting jumping off point. Follow up with 3 new people at least every single day and bring this to the forefront of their mind. Who do you want to share this incredible opportunity business with? And this is an excerpt. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's I think it was from GoPro. I'm not entirely sure. But my greatest joy is what we are able to give. We offer hope and freedom to those who join us in this incredible business model. We also give hope to those who are able to bless them with our time, talent, and resources. Look at this opportunity as the blessing that it is, guys. Like, for me, I can say wholeheartedly that it has changed the direction and trajectory of what I'm doing with my life, and I'm so thankful because I'm surrounded by amazing people, amazing opportunities that I knew I could reach for, but that I wasn't quite sure how to get there, and now I have a path, and so that's huge for me. All right, so with that being said, I want to stop the screen share. We have come over an hour, and I totally want to honor your time, but I do want to give anybody that has a very burning question an opportunity to ask. So if you guys have anything that you would like to say or do, please unmute your line. Bring it to.
Hey, it's Steph. This is my first time ever being on a Zoom call from the app on my phone, so this is cool. Okay, my biggest hurdle right now, and it's really, really dragging me down. I just lost my diamond after just earning it last month, and it was actually only because one of my emeralds dropped, not, one of my emeralds lost a coach and lost her emerald. So not necessarily me personally, but I didn't hit SC this month, and I decided about a week ago that something needed to change, because people who I've been talking to signed up, just not with me. And my biggest problem that really drags me down is, like, exactly what you were saying, getting emotionally detached from the outcome, especially when there are people who I really care about deeply in my, like, personal life, like as just like a real friend. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any more like stuff to suggest? It's just been dragging me down, man.
Yeah. So essentially, there are people that you really want that were on your dream team board that you would love on your team that aren't engaging with you, that don't want this opportunity. Essentially.
Yes.
Okay. So
and some of whom have been challengers.
Okay.
Some of them have been challengers and are just, you know. Oh wait, I got on late, so Bethany just told me to go back and watch the beginning. I can do that too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Essentially, well, to address it, because I think we all face that on some level or another. Either it's a family member or something we love, maybe doubts us or isn't buying into our journey or what we are doing. Here's the thing, you have to buy in. They're inconsequential. And as much as you may love that person, like you have to have laser beam focus on your goals and what it is that you want to get out of this whole experience and hope that they fall in line. Because you can't ever want, whether it's a fitness journey or this business to work out, you can't want it more for that person than they want it for themselves. And you have to constantly remind yourself of that, because I have people that I know would just knock this business opportunity out of the park. And some of them are my best of friends, and I've tried, but you know what? I've surrendered to the process because they have to want it for themselves. They have to want to put the building, and what I need to do is focus on me and my growth and reaching the people that are ready for it. I'm not so much concerned with who's not ready right now. I'm concerned with the people that are deserving of my time, that are ready, and are showing me, not just saying, but are showing me that they want it too, that are willing to match my level of effort and commitment and run with me, because you don't want to be dragging anybody. You want to be inspiring them and running with them. I never, in my mind, like, and we have different perceptions on this because Amy is she has such a powerful team and she's out in front leading. I wanted a team of my peers to grow with me. So if I'm having to rally and prod, then I'm not working with my dream team. My dream team are people that are motivated, that are right there with me and want to take the initiative and lead from the front alongside me, not behind me. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
to be very clear, and I think it really boils down to personal development. Meredith might have some more to add to that, but essentially I would say keep forging ahead, doing your own personal development, and reaching for the people that want to take your hand and run with you, not so much dragging the people that are trying to hold you back behind, you know?
Yeah, I just got to the point this month where I felt like it started to feel like everyone I was talking to were the draggers.
And you know what? Sometimes that happens. I'm not going to say that it's always rainbows and that always attract people that are like that. I'm saying that you shoot for that. That's what you strive for. What you put out and what you see and what you perpetuate multiplies. So if all you're seeing are those type of people and the lack, you need to do some self-assessment and say, what is my message that I'm putting out? What can I do? And what do I firmly believe? Do I believe that I'm capable of this? Do I believe that I'm capable of leading somebody that has the qualities in a coach that I want? And if not, where am I falling short and what can I do? This whole business is about self-assessment. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? And what can I do to get from point A to point B? What can I be doing? You know, what can change? We're not stagnant. This is all a journey for all of us. So we're learning in the process together. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? I don't know. Meredith, did you peace out on me?
No, I'm right here. I was just, my room's dark, so I didn't want to look like a creeper in the background.
Okay. Anybody else have questions?
Hi, Jacqueline. It's Bethany.
Hey, Bethany.
So I love this call, and I'm kind of in a place right now where I've just recruited some of my dream teams. I had the most recruits last month ever since becoming a coach. And I'm trying to figure out like how to divide my time between continuing to build my own business and Success Club and like always doing my power hour and becoming the kind of leader that I want to be and starting to do things like team calls and my own like trainings and stuff with my team. And I just feel like I'm getting all these ideas and all these like, oh, and don't discount your discounters. And I don't know, like I'm like a dog, but I keep looking at different things and I don't know how to balance it all.
So funny. So that's a whole nother call for a different thing, but I will say this, that is an ever evolving situation. And part of the place where Meredith and I are in our growth right now, we acknowledge, and I personally, so for myself, I can speak from experience saying that is exactly where I was for like the better part of this year. And I felt, and I just made a video to my team today that they just watched. This is going to be redundant for you guys, but I said, I felt like I was doing all the things but none of them well. Like none of them was I excelling at. And for somebody that's a type A person like myself, that was bonkers for me because I'm like, no. But here's the thing. You have to stay committed to the areas. Chop it into sections of what you need to do. You have to meet your goals first because you are setting the pace for your team. Success Club, non-negotiable. Your own workout and personal development, non-negotiable. Then based on your timeline of what you're working with, because it's different for all of us, are you working as a stay-at-home mom? Do you have only an hour a day? Do you have several hours a day? You put forth things in days. One day you're going to work on your follow-ups. Maybe you follow up Fridays and you follow up with everybody on Fridays. You've got to be regimented about your schedule, and you need to know, are you putting out a blog post that week? Are you going to focus on training that week? I talked to Meredith earlier today, and I heard a philosophy about mastering social media, but doing it in seasons. So for me, I'm going to focus on Pinterest right now. I'm invested into the Pinfinity program because right now, this time of year, my target demographic is pinning family recipes and photography ideas for Christmas cards and all the different things. So I'm working on building up my Pinterest. So maybe there's a season for you to work on certain projects. Maybe you collaborate with one of your other leaders and have them shoot some of the videos from your upcoming challenge group, or have them shoot some of the videos and post content for the upcoming Coach Basics that you're going to run. These are templates in the back office. I encourage you, especially at the place that you're at, to not recreate the wheel. There will be a time and a place for you to come up with original content. Use what Meredith and I have available to you. Use the videos on YouTube that are already available. If there's a video that you really like and you're like, someday I want to make that video and I want to put my own spin on it, write it down, keep a log of good ideas, do a brain dump. That's what really helps me. I brain dump what I want to do, and then I prioritize them. Which ones are the most pertinent? And then each day I start out with making my Success Club goals come first, commenting and following up with the people I need to, following up with the team, and then I get to at least 1 or 2 action items to something that's going to move me forward in the grand scheme of things. But when you look at that brain dump all at once and you're like, I have to tackle all of these, not going to happen. You're going to paralyze yourself because you're just going to hit that where you're like, I can't possibly do anything, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to do just this. But you have, it's just like, think of cleaning the house. If the house is a disaster area, the floorboards need to be dusted, the windows, the kitchen, you look at the whole thing and it's overwhelming, right? But then you say, okay, I'm going to start with this room. I'm going to organize my closet. And then I'm going to move to the bathroom. And I'm going to clean the bathroom. And then I'm going to move to this. Same thing. Same principle. Just think of your business as one big messy house, and you need to get all your shit in order. You have to like chop it up into manageable chunks and do something each day. And even if it's that compound effect, each day you're going to move in the right direction, and over time it's going to yield that bigger result. But you don't have to recreate the wheel. It's enticing to do so at the beginning because you're like, I want to put my spin on everything. But a lot of it's already out there. Don't stress yourself out.
Okay.
That would be my best tip. But there will be a call, because that is such a huge overwhelm is an ugly, ugly word, and it needs to be eradicated from our minds, because once we get trapped in that zone, we're overwhelmed, and that's all we can see. So we have to learn how to move forward in the areas where we can grow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. That help?
Oh yeah, so much.
Okay. All right. So unless anybody has a pressing question that they need addressed at this moment in time, Meredith and I will both be posting this video up in both Soul Warriors and Viva Vita for some post-call discussion. If you guys have questions, or you know what one of your coaches missed out or a coach missed out, please tag them once this goes up live. And then post your takeaways. People will rewatch a call when there are comments down below that says, don't miss this call. So if you found this valuable, please do us a favor and say, don't miss this call. Make sure that people tag your coaches so that they take this to heart, because in helping one another, we all benefit and will grow in this together. Meredith, do you have anything to sign off, words of wisdom?
That's it. I just want to thank you guys so much for your time. I know how valuable it is, and I know how late it is for some of you. So just thank you so much for staying true and never giving up and staying committed. We love you guys to no end, and we're so excited to be on this journey with you.
For sure. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Bye. Thanks.